Are y'all ready for the Dr. James JC Cooley Show? It's your life. That's right. It's your life with Dr. James JC Cooley. Dr. James JC Cooley. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Let's go. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
Yeah. Dr. James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James JC Cooley, and I hope everybody started the holidays out wonderfully. Family with love, with compassion, and I know Michelle and I did. So I love you, baby. Michelle, I'm excited about the show today. This particular guest, been on a few times, but we haven't had her on in a while. And she is always, coming on the show and bringing that absolutely wonderful advice, because we all get stuck. Well, not you. You don't eat late at night. Many times, just getting up and just overdoing it, and especially during the holidays is coming up, we can't be doing that. We can't do it.
And the funny thing about it is when people eat late at night, they're really not hungry. You just want the taste of whether it's sugar, caffeine, if you're a coffee drinker, or even a tea drinker or hot chocolate drinker. You're not hungry late at night. You just want it. You crave it. And I think sometimes you have to rewire your brain to kind of remove yourself from that desire to have this late night snacks. No one is hungry and late at night. They just had dinner. They're not hungry. But, Dr. Julie Gatza, who is a returning guest, she's going to talk to us about the topic. So we're just really excited to have her back after all this time.
I'm excited to have her back to help get us in the right frame of mind with the Christmas holidays and all of those things coming up. We got to get ourselves under control. So whichever platform that you're watching us on, was E360 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, Apple TV, listen to us on the radio, podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Rumble, and over 85 other platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you watching or listening to us on, ask any questions that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Michelle, I'm excited. Can you please introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely wonderful guest?
Oh, most definitely. This is wonderful returning a guest. So the title of today's show is called Why Late Night Eating Wrecks Digestion and Sleep. And I can attest to that. So we're having a conversation with our returning guest, Dr. Julie Gatza. She is a chiropractic physician and co-founder of the Florida Wellness Institute. She's going to talk about consequences of eating late at night on the digestive system and your sleep, digestive enzymes that help night eaters, digestive improvements at night, boosting energy in the morning. So she is one of the top chiropractic physicians in the United States. And with more than 30 years of clinical experience, she has helped thousands of patients overcome digestive issues, low energy, and stubborn health concerns by strengthening the body's natural ability to heal. Dr. Julie teaches simple, practical strategies people can use to support better digestion, improve sleep quality, and feel more energized in the morning. She frequently appears in media to explain how nighttime eating habits can disrupt both gut health and rest, and how small adjustments can make a major difference. Please welcome back to the show, Dr. Julie Gatza.
Wow, thank you.
I always look forward to having you on the show because I know you always bring it. You always tell the truth.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful to see you guys. I love being on your show.
Absolutely. And, we have folks out there that works out like Michelle and I, you as well, all the time. But if we don't eat right, or we eat at the wrong time, or we don't pay attention, we just go on with our mind, our gut. Say, go get some ice cream at 3 o'clock in the morning. That can disrupt a lot of things, so before we get started, can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up, what makes you, why you're so passionate about the things that you are doing?
Well, of course, I am a third generation chiropractor. I'm number 7 in the family, and we were raised very naturally. So if we were sick, we'd always see the chiropractor first. When I wanted to become a chiropractor, probably when I was 7 or 8, that was my whole sole focus. So whatever it was, that's what I was going to do. And when I got into practice, I found out that there was a lot more to it than just adjusting the spines. It had a lot to do with nutrition. We did a tremendous amount of work with vitamins, and we found out that gut health is probably the thing that you need to put the most attention on, because if you can correct the gut, the rest of the things that people come in complaining about, they really make a big difference. I'm even including the fact that somebody might have chronic neck pain, and when you correct their digestive system, the adjustments start to hold. They aren't always inflamed. They're really getting the nutrients absorbed properly. They're not eating the foods that are inflaming them on top of it. So everything has to do with gut health first and foremost. And to ignore that, you're missing the boat, even if you're dealing with simple things or complicated things.
Wow. So the title of the show is Why Late Night Eating Wrecks the Digestive and Sleep Elements. Can you tell our viewers and listeners why you chose that topic, and why is it so important that they listen?
Well, we get bits and pieces, and I think in our education, we really have been devoid of getting true information about what to do for our bodies, how to keep them healthy. We have, a few classes as we're growing up, but it's sort of it's been pushed underneath the rug. And so now we're getting it from the marketing on the commercials and the magazines and now the internet. And it's not all the best of information. And, even feeding your kids a lot of fast foods, it's, kind of a scary road to go down and accept that because it's not really food. So I picked that topic because I find a lot of people are making those late night mistakes. They're eating differently in the day. They're not eating 3 square meals, or they're doing things that are a little off the wall. So when it comes to the late night, they're not shutting the digestive system down, letting it sleep, letting it rejuvenate, and instead they're asking it to perform a miracle in the middle of the night, and in the morning they're waking up groggy, tired. They aren't losing weight. Their digestive systems aren't set the way it's supposed to. So now you've set up the next day behind the 8 ball.
I like that. Now I like that stating behind the 8 ball. So I know we were talking before the show went live. Why do people, in your opinion, think that they're actually hungry late night when they eat these snacks, but in actuality, they're really not? Like I said, they just had dinner about an hour or 2 ago, and your stomach is full. Let's just put it out there. Why do you feel that this is a problem within the world, basically?
I think the biggest problem is they're not digesting the food that they eat. So if they are eating, let's say, a really good meal, let's say they're having some fish and some vegetables and some fruit. Well, we aren't making enough digestive enzymes. Our food source isn't as good as it used to be. We're not able to break down the foods like we used to. So now our bodies aren't getting the nutrients from it. We're supposed to be making digestive enzymes adequate enough to break down a steak, the fish, the salad, whatever it is that you put into your meal that's actually of normal size. And because we're devoid in that, we're now eating food, we're not getting these nutrients, and now we are still hungry. So we can be certainly full, but we're not getting those nutrients into the bloodstream. And when they get into the bloodstream and they're broken down properly, this is the super highway that feeds the rest of the body. It's how the heart and the brain and the skin and the nails and everything is fed is through the bloodstream and the nutrients in there. But most of us are missing those nutrients because we can't break down the foods.
I know it's been drilled into us, healthcare professionals, fitness, wellness, protein, whether it's, chicken, turkey, beans, protein will fill you up. However, listening to you, even though you have you can have protein chips, right? But is that healthy? Now, are you breaking it down properly? So it's like, you tell us what to eat, what's important ingredient, protein to fill you up, but is it breaking those ingredients down from the protein item that you're eating?
That's right. And, one of the some of the major symptoms that you'll see when you're not breaking down your food, you'll eat and you're bloated immediately. And a lot of people think this is very normal. It's not normal. It's just very common. So I see it in, men and women of all different ages, even little kids, their, belly starts to stick out right after they've eaten. And it means the food that they just put in, they aren't breaking down. So it's fermenting and it's causing this bloat. They can have gas, they can have indigestion, heartburn, acid reflux, constipation, diarrhea. All these different things have to do with the fact that they are not breaking down the food. And those are just very, very common symptoms that people all accept as being normal these days.
Wow. This is so important that our viewers and our listeners are taking this in because as we get older, in my opinion, it becomes even harder to break down.
Correct. Yeah. We age and we make less enzymes. So we need more help after we're, 30, 40 years old because of that. And then our food source as well.
Wow. We're going to take a station break, but I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying this discussion with Dr. Julie. That's what I call her Dr. Julie. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be part of this great discussion that we're having, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any questions that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Dr. James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible, integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are, grow in faith, and build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today?
Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply today and be among the global leaders.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and we're sitting here having a discussion with Dr. Julie. And what we're talking about is, late night eating, unhealthy eating as well, but primarily how late night eating can cause sleep disorders, also wreck the digestive system. And prior to the break, we were talking about this. As we get older, it's kind of hard to break down like when we was 30 and 40. I'm talking about the contents, the food, etc., that goes in our body. And Dr. Julie, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, sure. I mean, when we're little, we have a very efficient system. We can eat, decent foods. We can break these down. We, sleep on time. We only think of our digestion once a day and never have to think of it again. And that's because everything is working as efficiently as it can. Well, as we start to lose function in our bodies from injuries, accidents, stresses, surgeries, drugs, over the counter, whatever it may be, we start to lose function in the system. And unless somebody's bringing back that function, all we have the next year is a little less, the next year a little less. So, we go up and down with our weight. We exercise, we're doing all these great things, but very few people are putting a tremendous amount of attention on the fact that digestion should be as efficient as you can possibly make it. And when you get to see your digestive system work well and it stays working well is when you have your energy, when you sleep better, when you aren't inflamed, you keep your weight under control, you don't have the middle of the day, afternoon fatigue. And that is how an efficient system should operate. We shouldn't have these ups and downs, and correcting the digestive system, making sure that it's always optimal is the best thing that you can possibly do and the thing that you should be the most aware of.
So, Dr. Julie, what can we do? Let's say I'm like, you got vegans out there, you got pescatarians. I mean, you have so many different people. So let's say I am doing what I hear is right. I'm eating vegetables, fresh vegetables, organic, right? I'm eating my broccoli, my, drinking lots of water, not putting added sugars in my diet, eating organic meat, or maybe I'm not eating meat at all. I am drinking unsweetened things, not soda. But why is there a problem where even if I'm not a late night sleeper, I'm just going to shift away from that just for a little bit, right? And you mentioned before bloatedness, even if let's say I eat late at night, but that's the time I eat my dinner, 8, 9 o'clock at night. Is that a problem, the time I eat before I go to bed?
Well, it does depend. I mean, you have a lot of these Europeans who eat late night, and they have very healthy digestive systems, but they also have different patterns. They'll often eat, they'll go for a walk. They aren't usually early to bed people. So they have a whole different sort of pattern and system that's worked in. But let's just look at America here for a moment. People that have, a digestive system that's working properly. They're eating breakfast, they're having dinner, they're having lunch, then they're eating dinner, and they're doing all these good things and correct choices. The thing about it is I always look at it as, what is it that a person can do to keep the digestive system working the best it can? And it's eating like you would feed a 2-year-old person. So if you're giving a 2-year-old good food, let's say they're not doing well health-wise, and they're dropped off at your house, and in that house, excuse me.
It's okay.
I'm taking care of some dogs, and they just decided to play.
Okay. We're good, Dr. Julie.
So I'm removing myself from the room. So what happens then is if they're eating like a 2-year-old would eat, it would be give them good protein, give them excellent vegetables, make sure they're steamed. You wouldn't give a 2-year-old a big salad and say, consume this, I hope you do well. You would give it fruit for dinner. You wouldn't give it a bunch of cake. You wouldn't give coffee and pops and teas. It would be water. So when you're trying to get yourself back on track, choosing foods that you would feed a sick 2-year-old would be the best way to go for it. You wouldn't give them a sandwich and have a Subway and expect them to stay healthy. And when you do that, that's how you start to get the system working the way it's supposed to. It isn't fighting all these crazy foods, and it has the ability to recognize what's going in and can break those foods down, because we have enzymes that recognize you're eating a protein, enzymes that recognize we're eating vegetables. And we secrete these enzymes and break these foods down properly when we're not, eating a whole bunch at once and trying a whole bunch of new things and, overeating.
You know what I notice when I eat late at night, especially if it's sweets or whatever it is, right? I wake up in the morning, I'm thirsty. And also, what you eat or how you eat. If you don't eat late at night, you wake up in the morning, and how that really is reflection of how your day is going to go, the boost of energy. So can you kind of break down to the audience how maybe late night eating? Now, late night eating is subjective to what's a person's schedule. I'll give you an example. Person who works at night, right?
Right.
Person who works at night, they go to work, let's say 6 o'clock in the evening, And I've never worked at Light, so I don't know what it's like. Their eating habits may be different. You know, they come home in the daytime, they stay up for a couple of hours. Now it's time for them to go to sleep. So everyone's schedule is a little bit different, but how does that affect your energy in the morning? Okay, so I wake up thirsty. I'm like, okay, I'm going to drink a gallon of water, so I won't be thirsty anymore. But how does that really affect your energy besides just downing some water to get rid of the thirst?
Well, when you're trying to sleep at night, your body does want to shut down. So it's shutting down, it's recuperating, it's, resetting itself. And when you put a bunch of food and ask it to do a lot of work while you're sleeping, it one doesn't need to do that. It shouldn't be asked to do that. And now you're getting fermented food that's not getting correctly broken down. So you're getting things that are fermenting, becoming toxic in the body. Now you wake up and your body doesn't have a clean system and a clean palate. What it has is a whole bunch of food that it's like, oh my goodness, it's toxic, it's fermented, we're gassy, we're bloated, we've got to start off the day. You're going to be sluggish, you're not going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you're going to be inflamed and puffy. And all these things are because of the fact that you've just stressed digestion when it should have been sleeping. It's like, telling a kid with a cast to run a race by poking them with a pin. I mean, they're already behind the 8 ball. They should be resting and healing. And this is how the gut should be at night too.
Well, let's talk about the holidays. The holidays are here.
Mm-hmm.
What should we do? What should we do? I mean, I think people give themselves a pass during the holidays because of parties, get-togethers. They can go later in the evening. Whatever late in the evening is for every individual can go 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And then there's also alcohol. So it's not just late night eating. It could be late night drinking. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, it does. And we all have our holiday ups and our holiday downs, and we're recognizing the fact that, okay, it was Thanksgiving, everyone was going for it. You're not going to feel the best the next day. Fine, prepare for it. There's lots of things you can do to sort of mitigate the fun and the debauchery that happens to the system in itself. But also being mindful of it, that this is a tough month. And because it's a tough month, you want to get some good habits in before those parties start each weekend. And, one of them might be the fact that wake up in the morning and have 2 big glasses of water. Start the system right before you go and do anything else, before you drink your coffee and all those things. Have 2 big glasses of water. You can put some lemon in one of them and just reset the system. Do eat protein when you wake up. I'm a huge fan of protein compared to having cereal or a bagel or a piece of toast and a cup of coffee. The body does need protein. It needs to recognize that. And
I think we lost Dr. Julie. Well, Dr. Julie was talking about being a big proponent of protein in the morning. The body does need protein. And I'm going to bring Dr. James Cooley on. Dr. James Cooley, we lost Dr. Julie. I know she's still there. I think there's just some technical difficulties on her part, but she was talking about protein, how protein is important, that she's a big proponent of waking up and at least having protein in the morning because our body does need protein probably before and after we work out. Because as we know, James, me and you do work out, and at least we've been taught that, hey, after you work out, hydrate, electrolytes, and also protein throughout the day. And I do believe that's something that we are incorporating. I mean, I know you're more of a meat eater than I am, but I do the protein shakes, and we like the beans, whether it's black beans or kidney beans, or just things that, they're good protein, not just that it says protein and in a big old triple burger. So it's got 20 grams of protein, but it's just like dripping with oil. I'm like, okay, that's not healthy, but you're saying it has protein in it. So, we're really, we're a big proponent of that. And I think it's almost time for our break. Hopefully, Dr.
Yeah, well, we got a couple minutes, but protein is very important in the development of our muscles and also the energy that we have. But you have to also have some carbs and protein, a mixture of what we call the 5 food groups.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of those things are so important to the health and the benefit
Mm-hmm.
of us. So I tell you, we're going to take a station break. Hopefully, we'll get back and Dr. Julie will be back with us. But if you want to be part of the conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, all you have to do is just go to the comments. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Looking to advance your education or career while staying true to your Christian faith? At Viridian Christian University, we make higher education affordable, flexible, and accessible wherever you are, cultivating a vibrant learning community where faith and knowledge converge, preparing graduates to fulfill their life's purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, doctorate, or honorary degree, Viridian's 100% online programs can fit your lifestyle. Study on your schedule from your home, office, or anywhere without compromising quality or values. With affordable tuition and programs in Christian leadership, business, and theology, Viridian will equip you to lead with purpose in a changing world. Go to ViridianChristianUniversity.com and see how you can join our global fellowship of faith-driven leaders, online and affordable. To learn more and apply, visit ViridianChristianUniversity.com. Viridian Christian University, a unique and dynamic environment for success, empowering leaders of faith.
I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and just sitting here enjoying this discussion that we're having with Dr. Julie. And the thing that she is sharing is so important to all of us, especially, and I speak from this one as well. especially when you start getting a little bit more seasoned, is what I call it. Uh, the body just don't function in the same way as it did before, and we have to work on it, and we have to use a lot of things that the great doctors like Dr. Julie, uh, convey to us that we might want to consider doing these types of things for as to get better health, to get better sleep, for your digestive system to be better, and for your bones and your joints. Believe it or not, all of them work together. And and so the things that we're talking about right here is so important. And Dr. Julie, I think we lost you. You were talking about the importance of protein. Can you pick it up from there?
I sure can. So, because protein is the most complicated of foods, it's the one that you want to eat first. It's the one that you want to have your system say, this is protein. Let's make those enzymes break down all the bits and pieces, because every one of your cells needs protein at a very high level. It's so easy to eat the carbs. It's easy to eat the fruit. You can feed anybody that, but to make and choose good protein and then ask the body to break it down, that's where you want to put your most efforts. So eating protein, then vegetables, then your carbohydrates if you're still hungry for them. Pretty much you're getting all the carbs that you would need from vegetables. So people don't need to eat the extra grains. In this country, our grains have been changed so much. We have a lot of Roundup on them. So eating grains at this point, you're consuming a fair amount of toxins. So, you want to not overstress this digestive system, and you want to ask this of the kids, yourself, the elderly, and giving your body the ability to break down these foods. I have, pushed heavy duty digestive enzymes since I've been in practice. And the reason being is it's so ignored and misunderstood. People would much rather have gas and bloating and take the Rolaids, the Maalox, the Pepto-Bismol, and all the different things to handle the symptoms, rather than figure out why in the heck are they having these symptoms. And taking all natural digestive enzymes will aid you in breaking down these foods. So if you're overeating, if it's a holiday, if you're aging, if you just decide that you want to eat poorly that day, you still want to break down those foods to get the nutrients out of them, and also to push the toxins out of the body. And those toxins sitting there is what causes skin conditions, the fatigue, the circles under the eyes, the not so bright, shiny look that you should be having. And it's, the lack of nutrients and too much toxins in the system.
Dr. Julie, I want to pass the show over to James in a minute, but can you answer this question? How long, what is the cutoff time for people in late night snack eating? So let's say people normally have dinner 5:36. Let's just give it a 7 o'clock. Let's just give it up to there. Let's say they finish dinner by 7 or so, 7 or 8. Let's just go there. What is the cutoff time? Should they stop eating late night snacks?
8.
After dinner, let's say whatever dinner time it is.
Yeah, I would say once dinner's over, that's done. And, the way that we used to eat, was we eat breakfast, we'd eat lunch, we'd eat dinner. And, this late night snacking came on when we got TV, and, people feel like they're, not happy or not satisfied unless they get to eat more at the end of the evening. And if you've been eating a solid amount of food throughout the day, you're breaking down your food, you're getting these nutrients, that snacking feeling can go away because you're finally getting nutrients that you need. And, snacking of any kind at the end of the day is basically just putting another stress on the body. I mean, heck, I love to sit down and have a big bowl of popcorn, on occasion. But for me, it's like eating chocolate cake. It's something that I do very rarely. This is not an every Sunday night thing. And I know when I'm doing it that I am eating food that really doesn't have any food value to me. I'm going to be more bloated than I should, and the sleep is not going to be the best. So that is, at least I'm aware of it from the point of, okay, this is a sacrifice I'm making to have this popcorn this evening. But in general, once you're done with your meal, be done with your meal, and teach your kids that. If you're hungry, go have a big glass of water. If you're hungry, go take a walk around the block. Go do something that creates some energy, and you'll find that, even a walk around the block, you go, I feel pretty good. But it's, we do get used to sensations. We do get used to, oh my gosh, I have a little bit of hunger. I better fill that. And I realized hunger to me is, it's like bumping your elbow. It's annoying. And if you hurt your elbow, it's just annoying. Well, if you can put hunger in a similar category of it's annoying, and did you eat enough today? Yeah, you ate plenty. Then push it away, and you'll find that you can overcome that sort of, niggly, irritating neighbor that keeps knocking on your door telling you need to eat.
You just, and I hope Michelle is still there, but you just verify something because normally I eat right around 7:15, something like that. And you mentioned 8 o'clock. So Michelle, you heard what the good doctor said.
I hate eating. I'm not a late eater. I don't like eating late. Like maybe cutoff time for me is like 6:30 and 7. Anything after that, it just seems so late.
It does to me too, but I do find people do like to eat later. It just depends on the schedules. So for me, it's most optimal if I could eat at 5 o'clock like an old person. I'm hungry enough then. I'm fine. I have lots to do in the evening, so I don't like to ruin my evening making dinner the big thing. I have other things that I want to get done.
So what are the hardest foods that interfere to the digest, especially late at night?
Probably sugars, carbohydrates. Those are the toughest ones at this point because carbohydrates in the are just hard to break down. They're not in the best of form in the first place. Our grains have changed quite a bit. They're not the same as in the 50s and the 60s when our grandparents were eating breads and pastas and things like that. So they've changed a lot in this day and age. So anything carbohydrate, chocolate, dairy products, sugar, all those are kind of a no-no. They're just hard on the body anyhow, and then to put them in right before bed. Dairy in general, we don't have the ability to break down because we aren't cows. Cows have enzymes to break down dairy. So a lot of us are lactose intolerant. Well, we really just can't break down dairy. So some people don't notice it. Others people, definitely will notice it. And so avoiding the dairy in general will help. People get a lot of restless legs, achiness, uncomfortability at night. A lot of that, I would say 90% has to do with nutrients that you're missing, nutrients that have been used up because you're doing other things that you shouldn't be. And it's a real mineral problem and a digestive problem first and foremost.
Wow, you mentioned dairy, and a lot of folks seem to believe and think that if you eat cheese or dairy before bed, causes vivid dreams or nightmares. Any
Yes.
truth in that you know of?
I do. And a lot of times the nightmares are often a B1 deficiency. And B1 is used up when you are stressed and when the body is stressed. So it could be mental stress, it could be physical stress, it could be any of these stressors. So when you're eating foods that you can't break down easily, it's going to chew up a lot of these nutrients that you need. And heavy nightmare people need B1. And so great, eat dairy, take B1. That's not really the purpose. If you're doing something that's causing that sort of a deficiency, it's causing deficiencies in other areas as well.
Wow, I just that's crazy, but that's coming from you is true that could be the problem in nightmares and just heavy dreams.
Yeah, I mean, you see it a lot with kids because they're so vocal about it. And I've seen so many children sleeping much better once the parents knocked the dairy out of their diet and we started to give them some B1 with some vitamin C. And it really made a nice change. The other big thing is of any age, including your animals, to be able to get better nutrients from your diet by taking an enzyme. I think it's more important to take an enzyme than it is a multivitamin. And the reason being is that multivitamin is, sort of a one shot, hope it all gets in. Let's hope it's all good nutrients. Let's hope we can assimilate it all. But what if we took enzymes to break down all the foods on our plate? That's the whole purpose of eating. I mean, everyone thinks it's for taste. Of course, I love the taste too, but the real purpose behind eating is to get the nutrition from it. And if you can wring more nutrients per plate that you're eating, then that's the real goal.
Wow. This is so much helpful information. We have to take a station break right now.
Sure.
But we're going to come back. We're going to talk to Dr. Julia a lot more. We got another whole segment. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on or listening to us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Audrey, I still don't have your email address, so Michelle can schedule you for the show. You know, there's Audrey is a avid listener, absolutely fantastic, and she taking all of this in. You see all of her responses, which is great.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah. So I tell you what, if you want to be part, just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and as I mentioned to you in the previous 3 segments, we're sitting here having a wonderful, wonderful discussion with the one and only Dr. Julie. And the information that she's putting out, crosses a lot of different things because a chiropractor, but she's also an avid fitness person, understand the digestive system, understand a whole lot of things. When you third generation chiropractor or doctor, you see it all. I mean, somewhere along the lines because you are being groomed, first of all, for whatever you decide to do. But when you're at 7 years old and you know that this is what I'm going to do, I mean, was your father and all them?
No, it was actually a grandfather, his brother, so my great uncle, my cousin, but I wasn't terribly close as far as distance to any of them, and never knew my grandfather. But my mom was key component to, she used chiropractor when she was pregnant and, obviously grew up with it. So she was the healthy kind of a mom that, sweet cereal really wasn't in our house. Now we had it, but it was not a norm. So we learned a lot of good habits very young. We all took a lot of vitamins, learning how to swallow very, young in that, and used to have games on who could swallow the most at one point. But, I remember on the shag carpeting working on my friends' backs. So that dates me and dates the carpet itself. But it was just something that I always knew I had to do. So here I am.
If a person decide that they just have to eat late or whatever, what are some of the recommended foods that you would say, hey, this, if you're going to do this, and what are some of the foods that's not going to cause a whole lot of disruption?
Probably fruit. Easy fruit would be be a good one. Maybe let's see, what the heck would I recommend somebody eat late at night? If they wanted to have, some carrot sticks and they all sound kind of not very much fun to eat when I'm saying it out loud, but fruit is your best bet. And, a variety of kind. Don't overdo it. Put it on a small saucer, eat it, nice and slowly, enjoy the taste and get the actual sweet and the sugar and, that bit from it and enjoy it because it's, a lot of different flavors packed into one. The whole game of, I guess, eating late night is to choose correctly and then not to pack your body with a whole bunch of food that then it's sitting there trying to break it down and there's no way it can.
So can improving digestion at night really leads to more energy, a more lively attitude, mindset?
Absolutely, yes. Yes. I've seen my patients that have come in with, tremendous digestive problems. And if they followed the rules that I set out for them, within a week's time, they see enough change that they're believers that this is actually working. It may not all be completely corrected at that point, but, the gas, the bloating, the constipation, whatever it may be, the acid reflux, when they do the right things, it's really easy to correct bodies. It's just made so complicated because everyone's running around chasing symptoms. And chasing symptoms, you're already having something wrong. The symptoms are basically the red flag going, hey, something is really wrong here. We need to actually correct it. So we've just been brought up in a country that chases symptoms, and thus when you get a new one, you get another drug. And when you get another symptom, you get another drug, as compared to saying, where did this start? Why do we have this? Or what are you doing that's causing this? Or what aren't you doing that's causing this? And I, have always put the responsibility back onto my patients, whether they like it or not, because they're the ones that have the control on how to improve their health or make it go down.
So what are some tips that you might have to our viewers and our listeners to curb late night craving?
It would be to eat 2 glasses of water in the morning, eat protein every meal, make sure that you are drinking plenty of water throughout the day, because a lot of times you're dehydrated, not hungry. And if you keep yourself hydrated, you find that you just don't have that sort of niggling thing that you have to keep eating throughout the day. Eating small portions is very helpful because we don't need as much food as we think we do. And if you've ever, eaten a meal, maybe got distracted by something, you got up from the table, you went and did something, you came back and you're like, I'm not really that hungry. Correct. You didn't need all that food. So we do have a tendency to overeat. And, some of it's just a bad habit. I raised one daughter. She had eaten her whole life like she was raised with 8 children that didn't have enough food. And she wanted to eat a lot and fast and furious and in the quantity. And it was like, wow. So, she's had to sort of relearn that in her life to, keep things nice and normal for herself, because she realized just it was her habit. There was no need for that, amount of food and going in so quickly. So slow it down, chew your food, choose protein, Eat on time. Don't let yourself get, super low blood sugar where, you're going to eat the kitchen sink and everything else in the refrigerator at that point. So get mindful about it and try to have the good foods ready for you so that you're not, staring at an empty refrigerator with silly choices in front of you. Hard-boiled eggs are great. You can eat them anytime. They're a perfect food. They're easy to break down. They're digestible. Having cut up vegetables and some fruit sitting in a glass container, also very helpful because you're not then having to do the work to eat it. It's sitting in front of you for your kids as well. So a couple of tips, ahead of time. You're the one that's responsible for it, and nobody's going to knock on your door and say, hey, look, I got you a huge thing of carrots all cut up for you, and they're sitting in water and it's a glass container. So it does come down to, you, unless you've got, a spouse that's really great at this, it's always going to be you.
How can our viewers, they want to reach out to you to get information, books, or etc.? How can they reach out?
Well, I would have them go to the website, which is naturesources.com. That is the website that I have a lot of information on there. The digestive enzymes that I've been talking about, the one is called Absorbaid, and there's so much information on digestion and the Absorbaid, and it's a vegan formula, and they have free samples for people that want to get free samples. They have 20% off if they want to do that as well. And it's just this website is just full of a lot of information.
Wow, Dr. Julie, I want to invite you back at your earliest convenience when you have time, because these segments that we've been having is so inspirational, it's so educational, and I think it helps many. So Michelle gonna be reaching out to you again soon, not a year and a half later.
Thank you. I've missed you guys, and I love talking to you. I talk to patients one by one, and this is a thrill for me to be able to know that some of this good information is getting to other ears, and it's so easy, and everything that I suggest is cheap to do. So any person out there can start making some nice changes that can, really impact themselves, their health, and their family.
So that's so important. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Julie, for taking the time to come on the show. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another outstanding program. I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for always tuning in to the James Cooley Show, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always dream big, think big, and be big. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's your life. And we'll see you then.